Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Gino, Buccola. Taking a look at the DRF race of the day for Sunday, July the 21st. We're kicking off a 50-cent pick four at the Spa. Race number 5 is the Grade 2 Shuvee. Let's take a look at this field. Fillies and mares going 1 1/8 for $200,000. Only 5, but a quality 5. And hey, for those complaining about 5, it could have been 3. Misty Vale and Just Catherine cross-centered in the Molly picture. They took one look at Idiomatic and decided to stay here.
We'll have an intriguing pace scenario too in this race. And in smaller fields, that's usually the case. You'll see a lot of jockeying for position, but there isn't really any proven need to lead horses. Shotgun Hottie likes sitting close. Venti Valentine has shown tactical speed, as has Misty Vale, even Raging Sea. They've shown some, but none of them are every race on the lead type horses. So it'll be interesting to see with a couple aggressive riders in here, who's the most aggressive when it's early on trying to get that lead.
I have a feeling it might be Paco Lopez on the
Think so
one
too.
Shotgun Hottie. We throw up our Timeform US pace projector, and Timeform US does have the 2 Venti Valentine and the 1 Shotgun Hottie close. But Shotgun Hottie likes to be prominent, while her main threat, the 3 Raging Sea, the morning line favorite, is more of a sit back and make one run type. I expect this pace to be run at a moderate clip, and I think that helps Shotgun Hottie.
Yeah, and she was kind of behind horses last time out. I think he probably, if Paco could have that ride back, he probably would have been a little bit more aggressive last time. And generally, when I'm looking at horses who may have had a ride or a race where the jock, I don't want to say maybe made a mistake or could have done things differently. Usually they get aggressive the next time. They don't want to make that same mistake. And I think from the inside, I would agree with you. If I had to pick one horse that was going to be on the lead in here, I think it would be Shotgun Hottie, who is off of that runner-up effort last time out. I think horse racing's newest millionaire. One day, Dan, my dream is I'm going to send you a text message because I'm going to have hit a big pick 6. And I'm going to say, you know who's horse racing's newest millionaire? Me. I
like
am.
that. I like that. Hopefully I get the pick 6 first. Shotgun Hottie in the DuPont 2 starts back showed that 1 1/8 wasn't going to be a problem for her. Again, she utilized that tactical speed against a field that she had to beat on paper. Last time out, you could argue she might have been best in the Fleur-de-Lis. I know Scylla's a very good mare and she ran really well, but as you said, Shotgun Hottie was sort of jammed up down towards the inside, had to squeeze on through, and I think she would have been best if she got a clean trip. It would have been an interesting finish nonetheless. Again, she's the horse to beat, I believe, even though she's not the morning line favorite.
Yeah, I agree with you. She's the one she's just the most proven, the most classy kind of at these levels over the last few years. She's very honest. You sort of just feel like you know what you're going to get from her most times. And she should at the very least be in the top 2 here, saving ground from the inside. No knocks on this Grade 3 winner. And yeah, I'm pretty much expecting Paco to try to get aggressive and hold that position at the least from the inside.
And speaking of honest, the 2 Venti Valentines are rock-solid New York bred. She's hit the board in her last 10 starts, including this open-length victory at Saratoga and the Critical Eye Stakes over a wet track. We watch Venti Valentine, another one, likes to be up close to the pace, and she just really loved the sloppy track here. Once she makes the lead, she does not let go. In fact, she opens it up.
It actually would be interesting if it was an off track because everybody in this field has done well on and off track. They're all proven with some success there. She's a really honest New York bred. You see her so tough in a lot of these New York bred stakes races, but when she steps up to open company, I do think sometimes she's a little bit outclassed. I understand why in a small field like this, you take a shot because she's a horse who could certainly be forwardly placed in here and hit the board. And that would be great for them. But I do think just on speed figures, just on how fast she's run, she's going to need to be a little bit faster to compete with the top couple in here.
Now you hit the nail right on the head. She's only earned 190 by her speed figure in her career, and that was back in 2022. So she's been making the money the hard way against the New York breds. She's really honest. She's going to be forwardly placed. It could be too tough. Raging Sea is a horse that really seemed to mature towards the end of her 3-year-old campaign, and I had some high hopes for her coming into this season. She won the Double Dog Dare in more workmanlike fashion in her seasonal debut for Chad Brown, and I'm not going to hold the Ogden Phipps against her, running against Randomized and Idiomatic, who ran 2-1 in last year's Breeders' Cup Distaff. She just needs a little bit of a fair pace, and that's not a given in here.
Yeah, and she didn't get a great trip really in the Phipps either. She was last going into the turn. She was 4 deep in the stretch. She just got caught a little bit too wide. She loses a photo for 3rd to Pretty Mischievous. So she's 4th in a race where the 3 horses who beat her are all multiple Grade 1 winners. This is definitely class relief for her.
Misty Vale, the number 4, actually finished ahead of Shotgun Hottie in a couple of graded stakes races down at Oaklawn Park, so I think she's a little bit underrated. And Michael Maker just found the perfect spot for her last time out, dropping her into the Lady Jacqueline Stakes at Thistledown, where she utilized her wonderful tactical speed. It's her best asset, arguably, just to sit off these overmatched leaders. And once she makes the lead, it's all over. Big 95 Beyer speed figure, nice confidence booster, again with the tactical speed to stay close to the expected moderate pace.
Yeah, and that's a career best effort. I'm always a little trepidatious when a horse will come off a career best effort, maybe this late into their career. Sometimes you feel like maybe they'll regress because they just don't have another step forward to take. But that race, if she just were to come back and match that, that would put her right in the mix, speed figure wise, with the rest of this group. So she's very, very honest. And you can understand why in a small field like this, she take a shot in here and see if she can get a graded stakes win or graded stakes placing.
Just Catherine, the number 5, completes this field, and it was nice to see her run well finally in graded stakes competition. She was the kind of filly that would always do it in allowance company and then fizzled out against the stakes company. But here she is in the Bed of Roses, a nice solid effort running second. They're all in with a chance turning into the stretch, and Just Catherine grinds it out to finish second to exceed. 87 Beyer speed figure. At least we know she's run faster in the past, and she's run some of those fast races at Saratoga.
That's a key point. What I was just going to get to that ran some big races last year at Saratoga, including a win over Raging Sea, who's going to be one of your top two choices in here. So we do know class wise she can fit. And I was thinking the same sort of thing. She checked that box because you always wonder, was she the type that kind of beat up on inferior opponents when she was in allowance races and when she was facing better? And then when she would have anything kind of up against her in a stakes race, she would just pack it in. That was not the case last time out. She actually had a slow start, but she was quickly up to 3.5 lengths off. And that kind of slow start rush up move sometimes can really impact you. But I was pretty impressed with that effort. I'm not sure if she's quite as good right now as a horse like Shotgun Hottie or Raging Sea, but I think she's really moving in the right direction.
Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Let's take a look at our top pick. Interesting field in here, maybe a nice prep race for the Personal Ensign later in the meet. We're both going to go with Raging Sea. I still think she has a lot of upside potential. I'm terrified of Shotgun Hottie in here, but I think Raging Sea might be able to grind her down.
Yeah, completely agree. I was really high on Raging Sea going into the Phipps too. I was actually thinking she might be able to take a step up and maybe compete with some of those really, really top of the division horses. And as you pointed out, just because she didn't doesn't mean we have to knock her for it, because those are the 1-2 finishers from your Breeders' Cup Distaff last year. That is the tip top of the division. And she was right there with Pretty Mischievous behind them. So I think this is a really nice spot for her if she can just stay within striking range, because I don't think she wants to be too far back in a race like this. But I really trust Flavien Prat in these types of situations when knowing the pace. In my opinion, he's one of the best jockeys in the world, and one of his best attributes is knowing that early pace and when to make the move.
315 for Gino, 341 for me in the Shuvee. It's the Sunday DRF race of the day. Best of luck.